On this hunt, we are heading into the Molesworth rural block Bullock Gully. I haven't heard much about this block, but it's fair to say both me and young Charlie are itching to get in and see what animals this area is holding. We're heading from the truck's location and make our way up over the ridge network to have a look around and set up base camp. So, had a bit of an ordeal. Started down there, followed the ridge up along, got across some pretty crappy scree slope, a bit slippery, but it's silly to do it, but we made it across, going against the advice of our mate Matt, who encouraged us just to walk up the creek bed all the way up to the top to the saddle, but we thought we knew better. So keeping below the cloud layer, it actually pushed us to come along over the scree slope, and as usual, Matt's always right. So we're just making our way up the scree to the saddle. The three sham just pop out in front of us. They haven't seen us. We've seen a little bit of sign on the way up, and this reinforces the fact that they are here, which is cool. First animal spotted. After doing the hard yards, pushing your way up, breaking through the mental barriers of wanting to stop, you get rewards like this. It means you're on the right path. Bloody awesome. So here's Bullock Gully. Just popped over the top to the saddle. A bit of a look around, and the pig out and about.
Doesn't look too bad.
Yeah.
That's fucking big for the bike.
From this distance, it's probably not a bad size. Confidence in the area was beginning to grow, but the hunger to see some antler got the better of us, so we moved on. And what we saw next had us both grinning from ear to ear. This second stag wasn't giving away any secrets. He was pretty content just to sit down and chill out. But after a bit of patience, he finally revealed to us he was an absolute thumper and definitely the shooter out of the two. So we dropped our packs up the top, had a bit of a feed. Two stags. One's gone out of sight. We're not too sure where he is, but he seemed to be only been about a 10. There's another one feeding up hard just down in front of us, possibly a 12. Got the camera on him, and assessment's a little bit tricky at this distance, so what we possibly might do is get down a bit further. See how that goes.
This guy had us pretty excited, but we were yet to have another option put in front of us. This guy was super dark compared to the scree slope behind him and was pretty easy to spot from a distance. He gave us a few laughs, but in the end was keen to stay put in the company of a hind close by. Then he gave us our first roar for the trip. But at this distance and the increasing wind, the camera couldn't capture that iconic sound we all know and love. We decided against getting closer to try squeeze the trigger. Confidence was high we would have similar action the next morning. With the clag starting to roll in, I was worried what our visibility would be like the next day. But food and bed soon took priority for the evening.
A frosty morning. No clag, open blue skies. Bloody awesome. I've heard earlier this morning some roaring coming from down here, so I think it's just that mature 8 that we saw yesterday. But obviously sun will be coming up soon. We're peeping over there, we'll be in direct sunlight, but down there's still going to be nice and chilly, so hopefully we start seeing some movement soon. So we're on our spot for glassing. Picked up, where are we? There are two young ones. There are two young ones down here. I've got that 8 over there somewhere with 2 hinds. And we're getting more roars, but we just can't quite figure out where they are. So we'll just monitor these guys and see what happens.
Just spotted another one just over this bank. He's bedded down with 2 hinds, but yeah, go see if he's still there.
This opportunity has literally caught us with our pants down. Charlie was about to claim his poo with a view, then saw this bunch sunning up. He's then raced back over the opposite side of the hill to let me know the scenario. We have 2 distinctive advantages right off the bat. One, they're already preoccupied with their own socialising, and 2, we're on the shady side of the hill. so should have our movements masked to an extent. So here's our plan. We've spotted a possible shooting position down below us on a rock outcrop, but with the stag getting further away from us, time is not on our side. We need to get Charlie set up and act fast.
There they go. We're going to get Charlie onto him. We're just getting set up into a shooting position. But unfortunately we're on the cold side of the hill, so a lot of the air was still spilling down. I think they caught a whiff of us. Quite a distance away now. They were literally coming up onto this ridge straight towards us. Originally they were up here, working their way around, went over and then came back over towards us. Hind and fawn spooked and then bumped the stag with them. Out of our lives forever. Beautiful morning though.
Almost, Charlie.
Come back over, had a bit of a glass, everything's sort of shut up now. The roaring's definitely stopped. As you can see, it's open sky, just getting pretty warm. We're getting pretty burnt on our knees from glassing quite a bit. So we're just working down this ridge to hopefully where we saw that 8 roaring. And yeah, just can't see him or the hinds, but we have spotted a lone hind up the gully a bit further out in the open. So I just got the camera on her at the moment, but the heat haze is just absolutely insane. She's there, but can't really tell what else is around her. So we'll just park up for now and yeah, bide our time, sit here, be patient, and hopefully something peeps out soon.
We watched for a while to see if any stags were attached to her, but there weren't. So we decided to push on a bit further. And while we're packing up the Canon camera, tragedy struck.
I got it, Charlie. She tumbled from... Let's test the zoom out.
Does it still work?
Yeah, it's a little bit slow, but it's alright. Well, actually, well up past there, all the way up there. Okay, yep, zoom's working alright. So poor old Charlie's been beside himself. We're literally going from the point where we talked to you last, from that point up the ridge all the way along. I can't even remember what happened, but we had a bit of a juggle. A bit of a stampede down the hill trying to catch it, and she just went. So we've literally lost a lot of elevation. We were almost back down at the bottom from where we first originally started from, but all good. Recovered, and if you see this part of the film, the SX70 is functioning well. So here we are. Almost at the ridge. This is where we dropped our packs, just where we came from pretty much. Right down in there somewhere. Bit of a detour, good outcome. Good boy, Charlie. Let's go over there.
I have to admit, it was pretty exciting watching an $800 camera roll down the hill. But excitement soon turned to boredom. And the lack of sunscreen on our legs was soon taking its toll. But we were committed and hell bent to see if this mature 8 was still under the tree. Because as far as options would go, he was it.
Just waiting for the sun to go down a bit more. Sun pretty bloody warm today, so they're obviously all bedded down at the moment. Moved on from the camera ordeal down the side of the hill. Got the gun set up just down there, dialed in to where we think the stag is anyway. We're not 100% if he's behind this tree or not, but we will find out eventually, I guess, because that's always the way, isn't it? You set the gun up, get everything set up, pointing up one direction, and then your animal you're after pops out somewhere completely different. Hopefully the sun goes down. We've probably got another couple of hours before it starts cooling down, and then hopefully we start seeing some action again. At least hearing a bit of a moan from him or something would be ideal, but yeah, see how we go.
To muster patience in a scenario like this can be very hard, but hang in there, cause the rewards could be just around the corner.
So, I don't know if you can see, but it's either the 10 or 11 that we think we saw yesterday. Still discrepancies about how many points he's got. It was with a hind and a fawn, so obviously there's a bit of a distance between us and them. Hopefully they close the gap, come down into here, shooting range.
The hind's just below him, or the fawn.
So hopefully they keep working their way down. But we'll see how we go. So the animals we've seen up this gully, they've worked their way back into like a nice face in the shadow there, so we're pretty sure this 8 and his companions have gone. Wherever they've gone we don't know. We're going to tuck down out of sight down to the left hand side. We're going to go down into the valley up to the right hand side and try and get a shot across at him, because at this stage he's our only option. So let's do it.
Here's the plan. To get down to the valley floor unseen is key here. We've wanted to keep our scent out of the valley floor, but this opportunity is too good to pass up. We drop packs and carry minimal gear. The aim is to work their way up this gut and find a good shooting position across to the stag.
We got down into the gully, and what do you know? Hot air rises and our scent went straight up. Not ideal. Not ideal. Oh, he's coming back. He's not sure what to do. He's left his hind and his fawn behind.
He's coming back down.
We're pretty sure he caught our scent, because this wind is just like not favourable at all. If he's confused like this, he's waiting around for his hind and his fawn or whatever, potentially he might have seen us, spooked him, and now he's not really certain what to do. Hopefully he comes back down. Update to come. It's really ball breaking.
Do you reckon he winded us or saw us?
I don't know, because I think if he winded us he'd be gone. That's what I mean. It's a bit weird that he's gone and almost out of the gully, and then he turned around. So yeah, not a good outcome. Managed to get a little bit of elevation to try and shoot across at him. We got him on the binos and just saw his RC, he was hightailing it straight up the gully for the saddle. And I'm guessing he saw movement. If he winded us, he would have been up and over the saddle easy and gone out of our lives, but he actually stuck around, turned around, he's a little bit curious, sat down for a little bit. Me and Charlie came down towards the creek to try and move up the shadow, try and get a shooting advantage spot up a bit more. And our movement coming down the side of the hill just spooked him again, and he was gone. Up the side of the ridge, had a couple of locks. I tried roaring out to him to get him to sort of, a bit of curiosity, but nah, he wasn't having a bar of it, and he's up over the top. It's just how it rolls. Into someone else's block, hopefully. Someone else can smack him over. But all good. We'll fill up with water and we'll probably head back to a higher spot and see what else we can see. Hopefully there's another opportunity for us.
Disappointment. Such a powerful emotion. It has the ability to extinguish any of your hopes and ambitions for a hunt. And if you let it take hold and set in, especially after all the hard work and yards you've done, it can be very difficult to pull yourself out of it.
So up this morning, the sun's coming up. A bit windy last night. It's a bit nippy this morning. So I just come back down to our glassing spot. See if we can pick up on some numbers. Didn't hear anything raw, make any noises this morning. So yeah, gonna park up here for half an hour or so. See if we can get any animals through the binos, and then we're going to split up. Charlie's going to go on the other side of the hill. But another cracker of a day, not a cloud in the sky. See what unravels.
The previous day's disappointment was still lingering. The thought of going home empty-handed can just level you. But this can be a fork in the road for a lot of hunters. One road takes you home disappointed and frustrated. The other road leads to a sense of thankfulness and appreciation. We're bloody lucky here in New Zealand with our hunting opportunities. It's hard, but you have to try and pick the right road. But in our case, it seemed that the Molesworth would let us have one more roll of the dice. With this guy literally between us and the truck, we thought it'd be rude not to go and have a closer look. But we could already tell he wasn't a respectable head. So with this new stag seeming like he was pretty comfortable heading towards this gut, the plan is to break camp ASAP and get down the ridge and down the scree slope unseen. Our main advantage now is the time of day. The hot air is rising up the valley, which will keep our scent away from the stag. But the biggest obstacle is the hinds. It didn't take long at all for them to move into our location, so we just had to sit tight and hope like heck they didn't see us.
Hinds popped up over, 2 hinds, 2 fawns come across right in front of us as per the footage. That was a pretty cool encounter. They just got a little bit spooked, a bit of movement by us, and they were shot straight up and over. So we're really hoping that the stag's still over the gut over here. Hopefully we see him.
320 yard shot is usually a walk in the park for my 300 wisdom, but with an undesirable shooting rest and an elevated heart rate, this will prove to be tricky. So I'm really hoping for a clean broadside shot at him.
He's walking, bro. Play it.
Right, I got him.
Yeah, bro. When you're ready.
Lost him. Yes. Sound like I hit him. Do you see him?
Good shot, bro. He's in the creek.
Just keep an eye on him, man.
Yeah, bro, he's laying down in the creek now.
My cartridge didn't extract. Can you see him?
All good?
Can you see him?
Yeah, bro, he's just sitting down in the creek.
Oh yeah, I got him.
You gonna put another one in him?
I'm gonna, yeah, because that sounded like a gut shot. He's still alive.
Yeah, he's down. Oh.
Stay down, boy. Just keep an eye on him, eh?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put one more, okay? Through his
Alright.
shoulder. You alright?
Yeah. Yeah, bro.
So, series of fortunate events come scaling down the little spur here. Made use of them being in the rose hip. Couldn't see us, so we just gunned it down. Got this shooting position here, which was absolutely better than nothing. Managed to wait till he came out, put a round through him, hit a decent thud. Unsure as to where I hit him. 320 yards, about 26 degree slope. Put him down into the creek. He was still alive in that, so I put another couple through him. So he's down and he's not moving, so we're just going to get our packs and we're going to gun it down and have a bit of an assessment. That assessment from a bit of a distance, it turns out to be a 6. Definitely not my personal best, but last day, very last animal that we've seen, it just kind of worked out. So we'll be happy with a bit of meat. First head from the Molesworth, so not all bad. So we've just dragged him out of the creek, tried our best to get as far away from the creek as possible, so we don't want the next poor souls coming through here drinking bloody rotten carcass. We'll split them down the back, get some meat, take the head, and try and beat these flies. Are bloody savage up here, eh? So I think we've got entry, exit around there somewhere. Also think another one of my shots grazed over top of him. It's a pretty hard case. A wee bit of fleshy there. It's been roughed up by someone or something. Just about to sort him out. After further assessment of my shot placements, my first shot has hit him in the hindquarter, which has disabled his back end. Shooting at an animal on the move is never good practice, but with him quartering away from us and our previous failures, I took the shooting opportunity while it was there. My second shot has then grazed over his neck, and the third has gone from lung to lung. To be completely honest, I'm not happy at all with how this has turned out. As an ethical hunter, I always want the animal to be down hard and fast. My guilt and remorse quickly subsides when Charlie speaks up and makes it known to me that he now has a real spring in his step and has loved every minute of the trip, even the failed stalks. And the thing is, he's completely right. Even if we didn't find success, we've had an amazing 4 days in Bullock Gully. We've seen some nice stags and visited an awesome part of New Zealand. We are completely misunderstood as hunters. The uneducated think it's all about bloodlust and killing. But in the scheme of things, that's only a fraction of what occurs. We have more love and respect for these animals and the areas they are found than anybody who is anti-hunting. New Zealand hunters really are a special breed, and the fact that we're carrying on a human tradition thousands of years old fills me with immense pride to carry the hunter title. And may our way of life continue for centuries to come.